Hello, beautiful mountains, beautiful, beautiful mountains. Thank you for being here. Woo, 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 woo. Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about my recent trip to Brainard Lake here in Colorado. So back last year on a New Year's Eve, I've decided to go on an overnight trip by the Brainard Lake here in Colorado. It was a really nice day. It was a perfect day for snowshoeing. Everything was perfect. We got a lot of snow and it ended up being really cold. So let me talk to you a little bit about the gear that I've used during this trip. One thing that I really struggled with was the cold. My whole body was fine. I felt really warm even though I was wearing this pair of gloves together with these guys, together with hand warmers inside. I was still really cold, mainly on my hands and a little bit on my feet as well. Going forward, I really need to revise my system and see what can I really do to make sure that my hands are staying warm and toasty. I'm thinking about trying a Wim Hof method, perhaps doing some ice baths, see if I can adjust my body to the colder temperatures a little bit more and see how that goes. So for this trip, what I ended up using was this closed silfoam Nemo sleeping pad, my Thermarest pad. For my sleeping bag, I've used this Untitled Equipment custom convert bag that is rated to -10 degrees. Over that, I have another convert from Enlightened Equipment, and this is just 20-degree bag. Beside the sleeping system I just showed you guys, I also ended up using this liner from Sea to Summit, and I have to say all this combined together was actually working really well for me. It got down to about 0 degrees at night and in the morning, but I was actually really nice and toasty in my sleeping bag. I didn't have any issues even though I typically run really cold. One of the other things that worked really well for me and that I've tried a couple of times already are these booties from Enlightened Equipment again. I just cannot even imagine my backpacking trips without this right now. My hands and feet get really cold at night, but this really helps me to keep them really nice and toasty. I typically throw in like one hand warmer into each one of those, and it works perfect. I really cannot brag enough about these. I will totally bring them for every colder season trip, that's for sure. Again, from Enlightened Equipment, I typically use this Balaclava, this hood. This also helps me to stay really warm at night. It just has these snaps that you just snap in and you're nice and toasty potato at night. One thing that I also have from Enlightened Equipment is something that is actually not working that great for me, are these mittens from them. I purchased these mainly to wear them at night in my sleeping bag, just to make sure that my hands are really warm. But because of this fingerless system and the way how you wrap this around, the thumb is really a little bit longer for me, even though I have fairly large sized women hands. It's not really working that great. Not that my hands wouldn't be really cold, really warm in those, but the problem is in the middle of the night, sometimes they take these on and off, and when I take them off and then I try to search for them again and put them on, I cannot distinguish which one is which unless I turn on my hand lamp and start searching for things. So this not that happy about. No, I don't think this makes that much sense for me, unfortunately. Another thing that worked really well for me are these waterproof sealskin socks. They're awesome. They're pretty much the best socks ever. They don't let in any moisture. Everything is kind of sealed in. which could be a problem for some people, but my feet don't really sweat, so I don't really care. They're perfect. They're waterproof. Nothing really goes in, nothing goes out. For colder weather, I always just put them in my boots, and these are definitely my favorite. I cannot imagine a trip without them right now. Alright, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.